Carden here, and I want to talk to you today, if you're a business coach, a business service provider, maybe you're a business strategist, about how you can grow your income and your revenue every single month. And this is actually part 3 of a 3-part video series. If you have not yet watched video 1 and 2, I highly suggest you bounce off of this, you go back and watch those. They're only about 10 minutes long each, and then come back to video 3 because it's going to make so much more sense. And really each video builds on the next. So it's important that you really understand all the pieces that I'm talking about to actually make sense of this phase today. So today I'm going to be talking about stage 3 in your business. And this is where you really start ramping things up and really getting huge financial, predictable breakthroughs. Now, if you remember in stage 1, I said that was kind of the hustle and grind stage. That's the stage where you still need clients. You still have to have clients, and you're even afraid of losing a client because you know it's going to put you back into a stressful place in your business. I talked about stage 2 is really about perfecting your rinse and repeat process, right? So it's predictable and it's consistent, and it's really at this point about more ease and flow and freedom back into your life. And this is where you have more of a desire to get more clients and a want to get more clients versus a need. And they're two very different places to run your business from. I also talked about stage 2 is where you can have much bigger financial leaps. You can break into that $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month range in your business. And, at that point, now you're ready to move into level 3 or stage 3. And so this is what I want to talk about today. So once you have everything dialed in, it's working, you've got it perfected, you know it's predictable, now it's time to start ramping things up. And this is where you can actually take your business to levels you probably only dreamed about. Okay? So stage 3 is all about ramping up. And this is really scaling. Okay, this is where you start to accelerate your growth and you scale. All right, so stage 3 is all about really moving quickly. Okay, and this is where you're going to start doing things like automating a lot of your processes. You may be hiring talent to help you. So for example, you might bring in someone. You've got so many leads and people coming to you now, so many prospects coming to you now from the things you're doing, that now you may have to hire someone to help you close sales. You may have to bring in an executive assistant. You can also do that in stage 2, but this is where you start looking for ways really to leverage your business so you can continue to grow. Okay, so it's all about leverage. And you may have to change your business model up to a degree or add another component to your business so you can actually deliver to more people. So this is really what stage 3 is all about. It's about really leveraging your time and getting freedom into your life while your business continues to grow. So this stage is really the freedom. And this is where you kind of start becoming really more of a CEO, managing things. It doesn't mean you don't, it doesn't mean you have to quit coaching. It doesn't mean you have to quit doing what you love, but it really is where you start moving into more of a CEO. And now you're running the business. You've got maybe people working for you, and you've got some automation, and you've got some other things happening in your business. But it also gives you the freedom at this point to do what you love to do, which is maybe work with your clients, right? And so stage 3 is such an exciting place. And here's the thing, when you get things working, you get them dialed in, and you get to this point, everything's predictable. You can count on your growth month after month after month. And here's what I want to tell you about this stage. This stage becomes more about strategy, and it's scientific. Okay? And so If you remember in video one, I talked about my client, Nick, when he was trying to launch his business. It was like 5 or 6 months. He couldn't get his business launched. So we dialed in his offers. We dialed in his marketing. We dialed in his sales process. We got it working. And I remember I talked about how in about 6 weeks, he closed about $80,000 in new cash business. Okay. But here was the great thing. He was very quickly able to move from stage one into stage two because he had a process that was working. And now he almost passed stage two, I'm just going to say, and he went right into stage three because he already had a great process working. He had, a great system. And so he was able to move into stage three. And at this point, he brought in a team. He knew exactly where his ideal clients were, what he needed to do to go get them. And he grew his business to almost $1 million in its first year. That's almost unheard of for someone in a brand new business that's never done that business before. But this is the power of understanding these stages and making sure that you get things dialed in each phase, in each stage. And then you can quickly move into stage three. And so that's what he did. And he built it was right at $1 million in that first year. So this becomes more strategy and scientific. And so let me tell you what I mean by this. Let's say, for example, your marketing is on LinkedIn. Okay. Let's say that you roughly reach out to about 50 people a week on LinkedIn. And let's say out of those 50 people that you are reaching out to on LinkedIn, let's say you book 4 calls. And I'm going to keep the numbers really small so they're very easy to understand. But you book 4 calls, and let's say out of those 4 calls, you close 2 clients. Okay? So now, when I talk about it becoming more scientific, this is where you start to track and measure everything. Everything gets tracked and measured because you already know what's working. And of course you keep perfecting. So if you're running ads, you keep perfecting those ads, but you're tracking and measuring. Okay, what's working? How can we tweak this? How can we make it work better? And so all of that becomes stage three. Now, a lot of times this is where you have help to do some of these things. Okay, so you're no longer doing all of your marketing. You're no longer doing all of those pieces on your own. You've got experts who are helping you, people who are really professional in that area, maybe Facebook ads or outreach on LinkedIn. They're professionals there and they can just do all that for you. So, but there's a lot of tracking and measuring that goes on here, and it's scientific. So this is where you're really running things by the numbers, okay? And you're looking for that growth every single month. You're looking for that consistency and that stability in your business. So let's say you reach out to 50 people, you book 4 calls, you close 2 clients. Well, how can you grow your revenue? You can grow your revenue by now reaching out to 100 people a week, okay? And let's say you book, so now you know you're going to book 8 calls and you're going to close 4 clients. Boom, you've got revenue growth. And this is the predictability I'm talking about. So you start measuring what's really working, what's happening. Let me track this. Let me see, is this message working better than this one? Is this connection message working better than this one? How many clients am I closing? You look for ways to better your sales process. Maybe you even bring in a closer. So there's all kinds of ways you can leverage your business and your time. But this all happens typically in stage 3, when everything's already working, it's dialed in, and now it's about really just putting it on steroids, and it's predictable, and it can happen month after month after month. So you can do this with automation. You can hire great talent. You can also look for ways at this point to really leverage your time and get you more freedom. So at this point, you might look at changing up the way you deliver your services. So a lot of things can happen in this stage, but it's all about being able to really not have any limits to the amount of clients you get or the amount of money you make. That's really what stage 3 is all about. So I hope this is helpful for you. Again, if you haven't watched the other 2 videos, I hope you'll go back and watch those. And if I can help you in your business, scale up, accelerate your growth, make sure you move through the stages quickly and effectively and start getting the business that you want, having those big breakthroughs, I would love to have a conversation with you. I'm Ann Carden. You have an amazing day. Bye-bye.